Hola amigos, Crispy Pro here, and I'm here today with a very special event. Yes, this is my first episode of my new series, Crispy Asks. So last week I asked you a question, what were your thoughts on Series 9? And I got a lot of responses back. However, if you aren't interested in this Series 9 topic, you can click right here for this week's question. It's very interesting. So what did you think of Series 9? Good. We're off to a good start. I really enjoyed Season 9, so much that it is now my favourite Doctor Who season from the entire Revived series. Every episode seemed to get better and better, with different concepts making everything much more exciting. I feel like for Clara's departure on the show, it needed this last season to make it as impactful as possible. I'm loving the overarching theme of Peter Capaldi's Doctor slipping away from what he used to be. So I thought it was very fitting for, at the end of Hellbent, that Clara had written on the blackboard, "Run you clever boy and be a doctor." Short version, it was so good! I thought Series 9 was one of the best series we've had in a while. I love how they developed both Capaldi's Doctor and Clara and really emphasized these changes throughout the series. I actually enjoyed the Sonic Shades while they lasted. They were pretty funny and cool and were used most of the time in my opinion. I wasn't too sure about what they did with Clara in the finale. Personally, I thought the Face the Raven end was more fitting to her character since it really showed the consequences of trying to be the Doctor, and like Ashilda said, it was sad, but it was beautiful. My favourite episodes from this series include Under the Lake arc, The Magician's Apprentice arc, and Face the Raven. I personally loved it. I liked the improvement with the writing, especially how they made the Doctor not as, dare I say it, grumpy. Verdict. My favourite series of the revival in my humble opinion. The way so many dark and heavy themes were woven in. The sorrows of immortality, the recklessness of Clara, how far the Doctor would go to save her, the horrors of war. That's a very good point. And the way they were all tied up so perfectly at the end of the series, it was just phenomenal. Clara and the Doctor's relationship was superb, as were both actors. The episodes were consistently engaging, fun, gritty, and ambitious. The directing was beautiful. I loved that it referred to past companions and Doctors so many times too. Most importantly though, while I thought Face the Raven was a great way to end Clara's story, the way they used it to explore the Doctor's reaction to his loss was wonderful. In the end, her exit was heartbreaking and exciting and just so fitting all at once. My favourite episodes were the Zygon Inversion, that speech, I'll agree with that, Face the Raven, and Heaven Sent and Hellbent. The only weak spot was Sleep No More, and even that one was at least very unique. Good stuff. Series 9 was awesome. Loved all the two-parters, but The Girl Who Died was a breath of fresh air. Felt like a one-parter, kinda was. My favourite episodes were the Saigon Inversion and Heaven Sent. Least favourites were Before the Flood. It was still fantastic, but didn't stack up quite as much with the rest of the series. And Sleep No More. Gatiss has worn thin. Ooh, tough comment. I really hope they continue two-parters and maybe even a few three-parters next year, because there is always so much more depth. I couldn't agree more. Series 9 was a mixed bag in my opinion. I'll be honest that this is the most creative and experimenting Moffat we've seen since 2010. The two-part format worked very well, but I didn't think Clara was very well written this series. I think after Series 7 and Series 8, the writers didn't know where else to take the character. I can forgive every episode this series for their micro flaws except episode 12. For a man that claims to know the character, Moffat just portrayed the Doctor's character. Any development the Doctor or Clara had was pointless. Gallifrey coming back did nothing to further the story, but for Moffat to kill two birds with one stone, he needed Clara back and only brought Gallifrey back for that to happen. Ooh, that's... it's going deep here. Gallifrey coming back was built up to be this massive event, and it was shoved away to bring back Clara. That is a good way of looking at things. I like the way you think. So overall, I believe Series 9 was okay, but overall it was a disappointment. Okay, I don't like the way you think. Good theory though, good theory. Series 9 was good. Loved the opener, Zygon two-parter, Face the Raven three-parter. But I think in Face the Raven, Clara's death was carried out well, and in Heaven Sent, it felt right Clara was in the Doctor's mind and telling him to get off his ass and win. I thought Clara's resurrection in Hellbent was unnecessary, but I did like the scene of intrigue when Clara and me/Ashilda flew off, but I felt Gallifrey plot was left hanging. I like him now. His character has really developed and grown on me. I'm assuming you're talking about Capaldi, but yeah, I will agree, his character has grown. I thought Series 9 was pretty good. It had some fresh ideas, and in my opinion, Clara became a far more better character and wasn't as bland as previous seasons. But hey, that's just my opinion. Overall, 8 out of 10. Yeah, I enjoyed Series 9 for the most part. but I still think Sleep No More should have aired on Halloween. Great idea. As for Clara, I still think Moffat should have let her die in Face the Raven instead of having her come back in Hellbent. Still like the character though, despite the way she left the show. I think Series 9 of Doctor Who was emotional and epic. In my opinion, it focused on Clara. Out of all the reboot series, I cried the most in this one. I cried the most in Series 2, guys. Fun fact. Yes, I love Series 9. It was better than your Doctor Who rap. Ooh, that is cut into Crispy's core right there. Must have been a pretty good season, am I right? Yes, I think it was great. It was fresh and had so many new ideas. Also, the relationship between the Doctor and Clara progressed fantastically. Hi Clara. Hey. Series 9 was awesome! Why? Because I love the relationship between the Doctor and Clara. They are my OTP now. Well, they were. Sad fact. It was definitely different in the sense that there is no sonic screwdriver, and it's very interesting to see how Clara affects the character development of the Doctor. That's a good point. Series 9 was the strongest series. It was awesome and a bit more grown up, which I found good. I loved Series 9 until Bell bent. Yeah, I didn't enjoy that episode with all the bells bending. It was really weird. I think Series 9 was amazing. Capaldi's Doctor and performance was absolutely magnificent. Love Capaldi. The entirety of the cast was outstanding and the complexity of the scripts was astonishing. Some of the best episodes / two-parters of New Who, in my opinion, belong to Series 9. I mean, Gallifrey! Very mixed. Most of its problem were as a series, meaning a few episodes were too good for it. It doesn't give me any excitement for the future of Doctor Who, but at the same time it doesn't leave me worried. But Series 8 should have been Steven Moffat's last series as head writer. He can write a decent episode, but when it comes to fundamental arcs of the show, I think his best days are behind him and behind us as fans. Series 9 was probably the best series, TBH, it was so good. Series 9 was one of the best series we've had in a while. It has its flaws, but overall it was pretty consistent. Face the Raven and Heaven Sent are personal favourites. To be honest, I thought it was okay, but I think Clara's death was a bit of a cop-out. Series 9 was one of my favourite seasons. I love the relationship between the 12th Doctor and Clara. I prefer the relationship in this season over Series 8, agreed. I thought Series 9 was great for 11 episodes with great performances from Peter and Jenna, and new classics like the Zygon Inversion and Heaven Sent. However, it fell apart with a messily written and disappointing finale. Man, Hellbent is getting cracked down in this review. Whew. And that brings us to the end. Thank you so much for all your comments. It was great to read. It seems that you guys seem pretty confident with Series 9, that it was a strong series. My personal opinion is I thought it was one of the strongest seasons we've had in a while. I do admit, Hellbent wasn't a disappointment for me, but it wasn't exactly what I was expecting out of a finale, you know? But yeah, I did enjoy Series 9, and I'm glad to see that a lot of you did as well. And my favourite episode will probably have to be Heaven Sent, because that episode was just awesome. It had Capaldi all on his own, just acting like the Doctor. It was amazing. So yeah, you can continue your Series 9 discussion in the comments below if you wish. Or if you want to find out this week's question on Crispy Ask, click the video here. It's got to do with the Christmas special, so go and check it out. So yeah, please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next episode of Crispy Asks. Allons-y!